Hello and thank you for watching this tutorial. I'm going to show you how the template works, and first of all I'm going to show you the main comp over here. Actually I'm on the long version of the project, and in the main comp you can see that you have 14 compositions over here where you can put and animate 14 pictures. For each pictures you have some text that's going to change here. You can open over here and see all the keys of the text changing over here. I will show later how to customize your text. So I'm going to start by adding the music in the template. I'm going to take it in my folder, drag and drop it over here. And it's very important to synchronize the music with the pictures. So I'm going to drag and drop it in my main comp. I'm going to open to see the signal of my music. So I'm going here and I can see it's already synchronized. If I go on the other compositions where my picture are going to change, composition 2, you can see that it's already synchronized. And you can see this at each composition, at each picture, it's still synchronized. So this is okay. If it's not at the right place, just move it to match the first bit on this marker over here. Now I'm going to import some pictures. I'm going to select them and drag and drop them in the project folder over here. Okay. Here you can see you have a folder called Your Scenes. In this folder you have all your compositions, the 14 pictures you can import in the long version of Stomp It template, and your logo at the end of the video. We will see that later. I'm going to go in the first one. I can double click to open the composition, or you can go here because it's already opened. I'm going to start with my first picture, drag and drop it here. You can resize it to make it fit, and this one is already at the right size here. So you have 3 layers called close, mid, and far. And here you have a help layer to show you how to work with the mask. If you activate the help layer, you can see what you have to do. So you have to create a mask in the close layer, a mask in the mid layer, and a mask in the far layer. And you have to leave the farthest area empty. You don't need to do the farthest area because it's an information for the template to create a 3D environment. And most important, you have to extend mask out of the border. You can see that your picture is finishing here, and we're going to draw our mask farther out of the borders. That's important because when you're going to move in 3D, you're going to give some informations about the volume of the layers over here. I'm going to show you on this picture, which is the picture I used in the help, so it will be easy to understand. So I'm going in the close layer, and I'm going to start drawing with my tool here. On the close layer, you can see that this rock over here is close of the camera, so I'm going to start with this one. You don't have to be super sharp and precise in your drawings. You can do it like this, it's okay. And I'm going to grow the borders like this. Then I'm going to go on the mid layer, and I'm going to start drawing on this one. And I'm going to grow behind over here like this and grow the borders once again. Then we're going to go in the far layer and continue with our tool over here. We're going to go drawing like this, and maybe something like this to get a little bit of 3D volume in this background. And I'm going to draw the borders once again. So you can see we have our first mask, second mask, and the third mask, close, mid, and far. We're going to go in the main comp to see if our first animation works. Our first picture will be the animation 1. Okay, and I'm gonna do a preview of the first one over here. Okay, this is nice. So we have our introduction here. I'm gonna do 2 more pictures so I can show you for the first 3 compositions. So I'm going to go in my second picture over here. Let's say we're going to work on another landscape here. Okay, I'm gonna make it fit. And now I'm going to show you very fast how I did my close, mid, and far layers. Okay, so on this picture I did 3 masks, the close one over here, the mid one, and the far one. And I didn't do the mountain over there because it's too far to be in the 3D animation. We're going to check here. Okay, so this works nicely. I'm going to do the third picture now. Make it fit. And on this one, I'm going to try to put the water splashes over here in the 3D animation. We're going to try this. Okay, so it works. You can try different ways. Maybe put all the car and the splash on the medium layer, maybe the mountain over there on the far layer. You have to try it. So we're gonna watch our 3 first. Okay, so this is nice. I'm gonna show you how to change your text over here. And for this, you have to go on the text layer, open it, and you can see a lot of keyframes over here that are used for this music. But you have to change the text over here. So this is quite easy. Just go at the position where you can see your text over here and double click on the square like this and change your text. Then I'm going to move. The text is going to change at the next square. So you don't need to go on the square. You just select it, double click. If you have to change the font over here, you have to double click on the right position on the square over here, and you can change your font over here. And you will have to do this for each square. Okay, if you go on the controls layer, you can see some options here in the effects panel. If you don't see the effects panel, just go in window. This is French, but it's named window in English, and you have to open it here. So the first one is named 3D strength. So this one, you can see it on this picture. If you think that the 3D impression is too strong, you can just lower it down to get something a little bit more soft, to kill some artifacts. Also, if there are some deformations or artifacts, you can just put it down. Maybe you can see it on this one, maybe. Okay. But I think for these 3 pictures, I'm gonna leave it at 100. You can animate this option over here for each picture. If you have one picture that works great and another picture that seems maybe a little bit with a little bit too much deformation, you can just animate it for each picture. The second one is letterbox. You can see at the beginning of the animation that the letterbox here is animated. You can see the keys over here created for this music. It's here on letterbox, and you see some keys. And this is quite basic. It's just animated this way. Okay. Then the next one is called light leaks. You can see them here. It's a little bit purple. And you can just take them off or make them super strong over here. You can see them here on the borders. You can also put some dirt over here if I take it off, or put it at 100. You can see it here. There is also dust. Okay, you can see the little dots over here. I'm gonna put it back like it was by default. And you can see the little crosses. You can also take them off at 0 or put them super strong like this. You have something called optical effects, and this is the blur. You can see the optical blur you can see on the borders. You can see it here. It's a little bit blurry. You have also some blue and red artifacts you can see in an optical artifact. Then you have the color presets. It's a color preset I created. I think it works on almost any picture, so you can take it off if you don't like it. And here you have something interesting. It's called the preview mode, and it's going to kill all the effects, so you have something a little bit smoother to work. It's going to be more easier if you want to do some previewing or maybe some customization. Okay, so for the last picture over here, you have your logo. So this is quite easy. You just go in Final Logo over here. You have it in your project folder, Final Logo. And here you can just delete this one. I'm going to drag and drop my logo here and drag and drop it in my composition. If your logo is a vector, you should check this one here, so it will be more sharp. Okay, you can put a transparent background, and you can see that it works on the last frame over here. So here I opened the project file I used to create the trailer in After Effects 2018, and you can see the logo at the end with the picture in 3D. I'm going to show you how to export all this and the best parameters to export super fast if you don't need to work in 4K, because this composition is in 4K and After Effects can be very, very long to export projects in 4K, and I recommend, if you don't need that resolution, to export in Full HD, for example. And just go here to export in Adobe Media Encoder. Okay, so now Adobe Media Encoder is opened. You have to wait a little bit, and you can see this line that is going to appear. So the settings I use almost every time is H264. This codec is quite fast to export. You can also use the new HEVC H265 codec. It's longer to export, but the quality is a little bit better. But I recommend starting with this one. Here you have to click to open all the settings to export. Okay, so now we can see our export settings. If you go in video here, you can see that all the settings are checked by default. If you want to export in 4K, leave it this way, it should be okay for the audio or for the video. I never almost use these settings because it's very long to export. So just click here, change it at 1920 by 180 over here. This is full HD and it will be 4 times faster to export. Choose where you want to export it and just click on the play button. So I came back in my first project. We saw later that we can customize our text over here by double clicking on the little squares, but you can go further. If you go on the controls layer, you can see that the controls is an object, and if you move this object, you can see that we are moving in 3D in our scene. And there are keys synchronized on the music over here. You can see all these keys creating the animation synchronized on this music. If you are an advanced After Effects user, you can change these keys and change the animation all over the movie. I don't recommend doing this for the new users in After Effects because it can be a little bit complex to animate on the music all the way here. And you can see some animations also hidden in the text. This is just going to change the distance between the letters. You can see that this move over here. Okay, and you can delete, move, or change the values, of course. Okay, and one last thing, very important for advanced users of After Effects. Once again, if you want to customize the durations or move the compositions around, you cannot do this. You cannot move them because there is one controller that controls all the compositions. If you do this, you're desynchronizing the controller with the compositions. The beginning of the compositions is here. You can see it. You can see it here. So you cannot move them, but you can change their durations. Let's say I want it like this and like this. So I will have to reduce this one like that. And this one I can move it like that and do it all the way along. And then you can animate or change your keys over there. But never move a composition like this because the beginning has to stay at the first frame of the main comp. Okay, this is it. Thank you for watching. Bye.